You've talked about mentality a lot this season. How did that show up in tonight's match for you guys?
Yeah, like I said, I think in the beginning of the season when we weren't good with the ball, there was oftentimes two or three players that would absolve themselves of the defensive work, and I think that also happens because you're getting results. And so we can talk about these things from a coaching perspective. I think the group feels as one. In other words, like everyone has a role to play to make this thing move forward. The amount of work that Diogo and Diego and Ari and Willie did and Gozo defensively was critical tonight. We don't take those 3 points, we probably end up losing that game. So, that's what I mentioned to the group is that life will throw curveballs at you. The game will throw curveballs at you and ask real questions. And tonight, I think the guys answered them really well.
And then what does a win like this do for the group heading into the next stretch of games for you guys?
Yeah, again, I think it's the confidence piece. We keep talking about, before we got back from the break, we needed 10 wins to put ourselves in contention for the playoff spot. And I think we got 3 out of the last 4. And again, I think it starts confidence, momentum, and then also how your opponents start to perceive you as different. And I think that's a huge factor in this. So again, a real gritty performance, definitely not something you chalk up on the board. But again, I think the human spirit trumps tactics any day of the week, and the guys showed it in spades tonight.
Thank you.